In this video, we're going to learn about linear recurrence relations, and this is video 1 of 2. Linear recurrence relations are written like so. So they are of the form un plus 1 equals a times un plus b. And we need to always define the initial value for a recurrence relation. And in this case, the initial value, we refer to it as u naught. Now, we might also see some recurrence relations written in this form. So un is equal to a times un minus 1 plus b, where u1 is the initial value. Now, for both of these, a is not equal to 0 and b is a real number. Now, both of these recurrence relations mean exactly the same thing. Un plus 1 is the next term in the sequence, where un is the previous term. Un is the next term in the sequence, where un minus 1 is the previous term. So they both mean exactly the same thing. So let's look at an example. So example 1, a sequence is defined by the recurrence relation un plus 1 equals 0.6 un plus 4, with u0 equal to 7. For part A, we have to calculate the value of u3, and for part B, we have to find the smallest value of n for which un is greater than 9.7. So let's look at part A first. We have to calculate the value of u3. Now, we're told in the question that u0 is equal to 7, so that's useful. If we now start to find u1, we know that u1 is dependent on the value of u0. We've also got this formula up here, un plus 1 is equal to 0.6 un plus 4. So if I had to make this u1, that would mean that this here would be u0, like so. So u1 is equal to 0.6 times u0 plus 4. Now I do know u0, that's 7. So I can put that into my formula, 0.6 multiplied by 7 plus 4. And putting that into my calculator gives me 8.2. Now, let's have a look at u2. So u2, remember, will be dependent on the value of u1. So 0.6 multiplied by u1 plus 4. So we're still using that formula that we had in the question, that recurrence relation, still using that to find u2. So that's 0.6 multiplied by 8.2 plus 4, and that gives me 8.92. And finally, for part A, finding the value of u3, 0.6 multiplied by u2, which is 8.92 plus 4, and that gives me 9.352. And that's my final answer for part A. Now, obviously, I've got quite a lot of working here so that you can see where all the numbers are coming from. You don't need to have this first bit in here. What I've written for U3 here is enough for each of them. And say I was asking you to calculate U10, I would be happy with you just putting this into your calculator after a few terms and then just giving me the answer. So that's fine. So we've found part A. We now need to look at part B. So find the smallest value of n for which un is greater than 9.7. So for that, I'm going to need to continue this. I can see that my largest value so far, my largest term is 9.352. So it's not quite 9.7 yet. So u4 will be equal to 0.6 multiplied by u3, which was 9.352, plus 4, and that is equal to 9.6112. u5 will be equal to 0.6 multiplied by u4 plus 4, and that gives me 9.76672. Now, that is greater than 9.7. So what I'm looking for here, it said the smallest value of n for which the term was greater than 9.7. Now n is equal to 5 because the term which was greater than 9.7 occurred, it was u5 basically. Okay, so that means n is equal to 5, and that is our final answer here. So if you pause the video just now, folks, and you take this down in your notes jotter before the screen goes blank.